Tacos, no need to ask why. Just open your mouth and close your eyes. It's raining tacos.
It's raining tacos out in the street.
Hey Dragons, back with another story time for you. I hope you brought your appetite today because we have an extra delicious story time. We're gonna read two books. The first one is Cook in a Book, Cookies, and the second one is Cook in a Book, Tacos. And I decided to read these two books because I have been busy in the kitchen baking up lots of yummy cookies. I wish that you had smell-o-vision and that I could share a cookie with you right now. So, we're gonna read Cook in a Book, Cookies first. So a lot of my dragon friends love these books. We have the taco one and the pizza one in the library, and I just found this one and I thought it was really fun and I would share it. So here we go. Cook in a Book, Cookies. Let's make chocolate chip cookies. Here are the ingredients. 1 teaspoon of baking soda, 3/4 a cup of light brown sugar, 1/2 cup of granulated sugar, 2 eggs, a teaspoon of vanilla extract, 2 sticks of unsalted butter melted, 2.5 cups of plain flour, 2 cups of chocolate chips, a teaspoon of fine sea salt, and a few extra pinches for sprinkling. We'll also need 1 spatula, 1 teaspoon, 1 whisk, 1 wooden spoon, a medium bowl, a large bowl, a measuring cup, 2 baking trays, 1 cooling rack, 1 tablespoon, baking parchment, and 1 sieve or strainer. So we're going to scoop the baking soda, measure the salt, and pour the flour. So step 1, sift these dry ingredients into the medium bowl using your sieve and set aside. So I'm gonna do it. Shake that in there nice and evenly. Next, you're going to mix the brown and white sugars in a large bowl. Add melted butter and whisk for 1 minute until light and creamy. Then we're gonna crack the eggs and add vanilla extract. Step 3 is to add 1 egg and the vanilla extract into the sugar butter mixture and beat well. So we'll put 1 in there. And then it says add the other egg and whisk again until all ingredients are well mixed. So we'll add the other egg. There we go. Step 4, pour about half of the dry ingredients into wet ingredients. Use your wooden spoon to gently fold them in. All right, we're gonna add those in there. You ready? There we go. Step 5, then fold in the rest of the dry ingredients and mix everything together until it becomes a smooth dough. All right, we're gonna mix it. Keep mixing. And then, oh look, all smooth and ready to go. Step 6, pour the chocolate chips into the dough. Stir them around until the mixture is nice and even. Step 7, preheat your oven to 350 degrees and line your baking trays with baking parchment. Step number 8, use your tablespoon to lay scoops of dough on the baking trays, each about 2 inches apart. Sprinkle a little salt on top. Bake in the oven for 9 to 11 minutes until golden brown. Should we check and see if they're ready? Yeah, here we go. They look perfect. Step 9, take your cookies out of the oven and after 2 minutes, transfer them to a wire rack with your spatula to let them cool. Repeat steps 8 and 9 until all the cookie dough has been used up. Taste what you've made while they're still warm. Delicious. All right, I don't know about you, but after eating those sweet, delicious cookies, I thought it would be fun to eat something a little more like dinner or lunch. So we're going to have some tacos. Cook in a book, tacos. Let's see what we need. Let's make tacos. Here are the ingredients. 8 6-inch corn flour tortillas, a handful of cilantro, 1 lime, a half a head of red or white cabbage, 2 skinless boneless chicken breasts, 1 pound, 4 radishes, 2 ears of corn on the cob, cooking oil, 2 avocados, salt, ground cumin, ancho chili powder, 2 scallions, and 1 can of black beans. We'll also need plastic wrap, foil, paper towels, 2 cutting boards, 2 mixing spoons, 2 chopping knives, 1 spatula, 1 tablespoon, 1 teaspoon, 1 fork, 1 skillet, 1 small pot, and 2 mixing bowls and a stack of small serving bowls. Step 1. Use the first cutting board and knife to cut the chicken into cubes and toss them in a bowl with the spices. Half a teaspoon of cumin, half a teaspoon of ancho chili, 3/4 a teaspoon of salt. Cover the bowl with plastic wrap and refrigerate it for 20 minutes to an hour. Step 2. Warm 3 teaspoons of oil in a skillet on the stove over a medium-high heat. Then add the chicken. Cook for 6 to 8 minutes, flipping the pieces until the pink color disappears. Cut one of the thicker pieces in half to see if it's cooked all the way through. All right, let's heat up that chicken. It's all looking pretty good and brown. We're ready to move on. Step 3. While the chicken cooks, use the other cutting board and knife to prepare the vegetables. Always remember, real knives are sharp, so we always want to ask an adult for help. So I'm gonna chop, 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 and let's see how it looks. All right, looks pretty good, nice and chopped. So we're gonna chop the scallions, slice the radishes, shred the cabbage, mince the cilantro. Step 4, this is my favorite part, we're gonna make guacamole. So we're gonna cut the avocado in half, remove the pit, and scoop out the flesh. Let's open that up. All right, and we'll scoop it on out. Mash the avocado in a bowl with the other ingredients. We're gonna squeeze in some lime juice, add a half teaspoon of salt, add a tablespoon of the minced cilantro, and now we're gonna mix it all around. Here we go, let's mix, 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 mix. We'll get it all nice and green. And then it has a little tip for us at the bottom. It says put the avocado pit in the middle of the bowl to keep the guacamole from turning brown before you serve it. Step 5, put your pot on the stove over medium-low heat. Pour the canned beans into the pot and stir them from time to time. So let's stir our beans. And then we're gonna move on to step 6. Shuck and rinse the corn, then slice off the raw kernels. And yes, you can eat raw corn. It's crunchy and sweet. All right, here we go. Taking those corn kernels off. Step 7, gather your bowls of prepared toppings and add any others you would like. So we have sliced radishes, chicken cubes, pico de gallo, guacamole, beans and corn, sour cream or plain yogurt, shredded cabbage, minced cilantro, lime wedges, crumbled tortilla cheese, and chopped scallions. Step number 8. Preheat the oven to 300 degrees Fahrenheit. Warm the tortillas by wrapping them in a damp paper towel and then in foil and place them in the oven for 10 minutes. Step number 9, unwrap the tortillas, lay them flat, and add your toppings. Then fold the tortillas in half and taste what you have made. I hope you guys enjoyed our very delicious story time. Now we're going to do a couple of things. So for your craft today, we're going to do a digital craft where you are going to create a food truck. This one is super fun. You're going to use the link to the Google Slides presentation and you are going to create your own idea for a food truck. And then for our techie option, you're going to go into Tinkercad and design your favorite cookie. I can't wait to see what you create.
Hi Dragons! So we are going to be creating our favorite type of cookie in Tinkercad. So I'm going to walk you through how to do a chocolate chip cookie and then leave you on your own to create whichever one might be your favorite. Here we go! So when you come to this page, you are going to click on sign in, and I'm going to click on email or username, but you are going to click sign in with Google. That's going to take us to the main Tinkercad page. Alright, so once you get to the main page, you're going to go over to the left corner and we're going to click on Create New Design. Alright, so once you have your work plane in view, we're going to add a shape to be our cookie, which is the half sphere. So I want you to click on it and then drag it over. And it doesn't look a whole lot like a cookie now. So what we're going to do is we're going to kind of stretch it out so that it looks a little more cookie-like. So you'll see it still has a little bit of a dome on the top, but it's not quite as round as when we first started. So we are going to change the color next. So you're going to click on your cookie. And then over here where it says solid, I want you to click there and then find whichever color looks most like a cookie to you. I'm going to choose this first tan one. I think that's a little light, so I'm going to go with the second one. And now I have the base of my cookie. So I don't want to leave it just like this though, because remember I'm going to do a chocolate chip cookie. So I'm going to bring another half sphere onto the work plane. These are going to be my chocolate chips. So I'm going to come in and change these to brown. And I'm going to make them a little bit smaller. So if you remember, we use this little corner to make things smaller because that keeps it the same on both sides. So I think that's a pretty good size, but it's really tall. It looks more like a gumdrop than a chocolate chip. I'm going to come up here to my top and I'm going to shrink it down just a little. So now I'm ready to add my chocolate chip. Now when I add it on here, it's going to disappear because it is down here at the bottom of the work plane. So I'm going to use my cone to bring it up until it is where I want it. Now you might have to kind of use our little tool over here to go around and make sure you don't have a chocolate chip that is up in the air. And then once you are sure that it's where you want, you're going to come up here and you're going to duplicate it, which means we're going to make another one. And then you can use your arrow keys to move that chocolate chip over somewhere else and just keep hitting that duplicate until you have as many chocolate chips as you want. I'm going to add a couple more. Do some chocolate chips down here. And then one more. Yep. right out here. So, as you can see, now I have a cookie with some chocolate chips. And we're going to look around because if you notice, some of my chocolate chips are floating in the air. So we're going to take those, use that little cone again, and I'm going to take them where they are touching my cookie. So I'm going to do that for this one over here too, because it is up in the air. So I'm going to take that one down, and then we'll take this one down too. So now I have a nice little chocolate chip cookie with some chocolate chips. I want to see what you can create though. If you don't like chocolate chip cookies, maybe you want to do a sugar cookie with sprinkles or some other kind of cookie. You could even go a little crazy and make a plate with lots of cookies and a glass of milk. I can't wait to see what you create. All right, so the other thing that we're going to do today is you are going to create your own food truck design. So I'm going to walk you through the steps. Here we go. So you're going to want to think about what kind of food you would want to serve on your food truck, where you're going to go to sell your food, and also a name for your food truck. So the first thing I want you to do is think about your route. So in this little section here, you're going to delete what I have and you're going to write down your travel plan. So you're going to tell me what neighborhoods or cities you plan to visit in your food truck. And then you're going to think about what you will sell. So the next slide you're going to use to make your menu. So your menu is going to have 6 items, and I just want you to tell me what it is that you're going to sell and then also how much it costs. And last but not least, the most fun part, you're going to design your own food truck. So on the next couple of slides, there'll be some choices for your food truck and then also some foods and other elements that you can use as well. Like I said, don't forget to give it a name. So I'll show you kind of what your options are. So here is my example. I've made a donut food truck called Donut Time. And I've just pulled a donut up here and given myself a name, and I also changed some colors. So I'll show you how that works. So let's say that I decided that I wanted to have a hamburger food truck. As you can see, there's a little hamburger over here. So what I would do is pull it onto the slide, and then I can resize it to make it fit up at the top of my food truck. And then what I can do is give it a name. So let's say we wanted to insert a text box, and I'm going to put my hamburger food truck's name down here, and we're going to call it Burger Time. So I want to show you a couple things when you go to do the name of your food truck. So I'm going to make this white just so it shows up a little bit better. So now I have Burger Time. Let's see, we'll change a different font, make it a little bit larger. And then I kind of want it to look like it's really on the truck. So I'm going to show you a little trick to help us do that. So I'm going to highlight Burger Time. I'm going to come up here to the 3 dots and then to Format Options. And then you're going to click on Drop Shadow. This just makes the words look like they're actually kind of popping off the screen. So another thing I want to show you is that you can change the colors of your food truck. So if I click on it, it's just one big truck. But if I double click an area that I want to change, you'll see that this paint can shows the same color as what I've chosen. So let's say I want my background to be black. I would just choose black, and then that would change my background to black. If I wanted this main part of my truck to be
let's say pink, I would click on it, then go to pink, and it would change the color of my truck. If there's anything that you don't like, you can always go to edit and undo, and that'll get rid of it for you. But I just want you to have fun and show me what you made.